Last week, we saw Donna and Margaret battle the elements while hunting pigs in New South Wales. They noticed something stuck in the fence. They realised it was one of the farmer's sheep. He had his horns firmly caught in the top strand of wire. If he were left there, he would die a slow, painful death through starvation or being eaten alive by foxes or wild dogs. It was a tedious and cosy operation to free the barbed wire without getting caught themselves, as the sheep moved around trying to escape. But eventually Chops was freed and sent on his merry way. While Margaret and Donna were out hunting with their rifles, Christy headed up the hill near camp with her bow. There was an abundance of rabbits getting about, so Christy had quite a time taking a collection of rabbits. Many young Aussies start their hunting journey with family trips, taking rabbits with a .22 rifle. So rich is the population in some areas that a few hours of spotlighting would result in hundreds of rabbits being eradicated. In this case, it was a little more of a covert operation, as Christy needed to get close to be successful on such small and quick targets. So just coming towards the end of an afternoon hunt, I've done quite a bit of walking and seen quite a few different game animals, so including a black cat, a fox and a fallow buck, and many rabbits. So this fella here, he's one of a plague number of rabbits on this property, and they do quite a bit of damage to the Australian environment. They're obviously an introduced species, which is why we hunt them. They carry many diseases, and they also invade the habitats of a lot of our burrowing marsupials. So by getting rid of these ferals, we're doing a fair amount of good for the agricultural and natural environment. They also, funnily enough, breed like rabbits, so if their numbers aren't kept controlled, they'll just overtake and have a huge population spread, which is what's happening here. So. Part of the Huntress aim to demonstrate to all people the power of drive, ambition and unity. We aspire to be positive role models for all women, men and children, to be valued for our skills, knowledge, ability to share, learn and succeed, and encourage others to succeed. Christy and photographer Steve headed out for a walk. Later on, they came across a herd of goats and were quite relaxed. Christy decided to challenge herself with a stalk on one of the larger billies.
So there's a billy just on the other side of the long grass. He's feeding, watering on. There's also some smaller billies to the left. We'll see if this larger one turns for a better shot. just got to get a read.
With so many eyes and ears to contend with, stalking a mob of goats can be quite a task. There was no cover at all, so Christy crawled on all fours to remain hidden by the long grass. She needed to be aware of staying hidden not just from the billy she was stalking, but also the other goats nearby. The wind was in her favour, so she was able to get quite close. The downside of getting close was that when Christy stood up to draw back her bow, she was in full sight of the goat. Unfortunately, this quick-witted billy did not give Christy time to take her shot and ran off in a panic after seeing this strangely dressed human emerge from the grass.
We're just heading out for another morning hunt. We had quite a lot of rain yesterday afternoon, so things are really wet. So we've come back to the same area where we've seen a big mob of deer and in the thick pines, so we're hoping that they're still in that same area. So yeah, we'll take a walk and check it out.
The days were running out and there were still no deer on the ground. Donna was super keen to hunt for deer, as she had not previously hunted fallow deer before. It was still early, a little bit before 7, and she had spotted some deer. Donna's adrenaline started pumping, and she knew this was her chance. The deer were about 300 metres away and unaware of her presence. She slowly crept in about 200 metres. The deer were happy feeding, still unaware of Donna closing in the gap. The grass was long and quite difficult to see the deer clearly. and had a nice big rock to take cover behind. Donna was also worried as there were more big rocks in her line of sight. She would have been happy to take the shot, but believed that she should move to a clearer line of sight. So with that in mind, she watched the deer, and when they put their heads down for a bite to eat, she moved in closer, onto another larger rock, perfect for a lean. Donna was now into 130 metres, the perfect distance to be able to take a good clean shot. There was a slight breeze blowing, and the grass was swaying from side to side. Donna had her trusty 308 and just waited for the perfect moment to squeeze the trigger. The deer dropped on the spot.
Load. There's another one.
Donna was extremely happy to end the week in such a great way and achieving a new accomplishment.
They weren't in the same spot as where we'd seen them a few days prior, so we just kept walking and just happened to spot them up on our left. So probably about 300 metres. So we stalked in a little bit closer and I'm not sure if there was 2 or 3 there with it. But the grass was quite tall in places, and took a lean on a big rock, and as soon as he lifted his head up, I took the shot. So my first deer. We should get some good meat off this one from the freezer. So that's a start to a good morning.
Please join us next week as Margaret stalks another pig, this time doing battle with not the weather conditions, but a mob of roos that were intent on sabotaging her hunt. See ya!